Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Star Wars Stuff Podcast. My name is the Captain.
And I'm Tennille.
I couldn't find my captain's hat that I wore all weekend at Rebel Scum Con, but it's around here somewhere. But yeah, thank you for joining us. We had some technical difficulties if you decided to join us live. But yeah, we had an awesome weekend up in Frisco at Rebel Scum Con. Craig unfortunately couldn't join, but one of his best friends did. And that shocked me to a crazy degree because I was like, what is he doing here? Craig said nothing about him showing up. So yeah, it was interesting. Tons of celebrities, tons of cosplay,
Well,
tons of listeners walking up to us and saying, yeah, we listen. So
really?
super grateful and thankful for that. Yeah.
And they wanted to meet you on top of it?
Yeah, I mean it happened and they got free stickers and we did a
Wow.
raffle for the Anakin Obi-Wan Black series with the Lord Dark Vader misprint on the side. And yeah, we actually did two raffles and that was successful. And actually gonna do a podcast tonight. At around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, it'll be me, Colin, Will of the Force, and Carly King, I believe. So we're gonna talk all about all the festivities that happened this weekend at Rebel Scum Con in Frisco. But some major news dropped over the time period that we really couldn't talk about it, and we really wanted to catch you guys up. We wanted to catch up. Craig sent me, and well, actually, before that, we want to thank all of our awesome Patreon members out there for sure. Starting off with Lee McCallan, Kevin Leininger, Deb McCaffrey, Zach Netzel, Maya Morris, Adam Haber, Front Row King, Cam from Indiana, Mariana Atia Arnold, Rest Jelly 27, and Alex Blundell. Thank you so much for your awesome love and support out there. And of course, visit legionsabers.com. Use the code STUFF at checkout for 15% off. Um, yeah, so the news that dropped, which was kind of wild and kind of unsettling in a way because Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen were doing a convention in New England, I believe, and he was up on stage and he basically said some stuff to the crowd, and a lot of people kind of interpreted as he was going to appear in Ahsoka season 2,
Yes.
and I was like, oh my gosh, wow, Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be in Ahsoka season 2. Is it going to be flashbacks? Is it going to be like Force Ghost, which would be totally rad? Ewan McGregor is a Force Ghost, or maybe like World Between Worlds stuff, or something we haven't even thought of yet.
Yep.
But it's been clarified that no, it was a misspeak, or just people kind of just took the story and
Misquoting
ran
him.
with it. And he
Yeah.
was actually referencing his wife, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who plays Hera, uh, for her to be in Ahsoka season 2, which we all know she's going to be in Ahsoka season 2. She's probably going to have a bigger role. We're probably going to see her in more action, which is going to be great. But like, what exactly happened, Craig? I know you know more about this than I do, but
I don't
how
know.
did the
I
wire
I
process that?
was seeing that he was that Ewan McGregor was going to be in it, and so I sent it to you. I was elated. I was so busy dancing around the house for a few hours that I didn't even realize it was fake news.
Yeah, and Ewan didn't even know if he was like going to be in trouble for saying that his wife was going to be in Ahsoka season 2. So uh, it was just kind of just like uh, just a bad or really an inconvenient situation all the way around. But Joseph Floyd is actually on YouTube. He's saying, "Sup, how's it going?" Um,
So,
it really got my juices flowing. So I was sitting at the table at Rebel Scum Con, and I started thinking, okay, how are they going to implement them into Ahsoka season 2? How would they do it? Did you like come up with anything when you heard that news and you were dancing around?
um, I really was not sure. I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe we'll see him in the world between worlds, something like that. Um, I was just wondering, like, were we going to see a flashback with like Ahsoka meeting Luke and maybe Obi-Wan and Anakin are there. Like I was, hoping for the best, but we never get that stuff. we we're getting
Yeah,
better
and
AI lately. I've been sending you AI clips of Qui-Gon talking to Luke.
the AI clips are incredible. If you guys haven't checked them out, yeah, people are making some outstanding fanfic that really shouldn't be fanfic, and it's like well produced. There's music, the deep fakes are all on point. Even the voice, we all know Lucasfilm has like re-speecher technology to create James Earl Jones's voice, and anyone else's voice really. I mean, they could do it with Grand Moff Tarkin too. They used an actual actor's voice in Rogue One for the Tarkin voice, but they could just take Peter Cushing's voice and duplicate. Now it doesn't seem like that is that difficult. But yeah, I at first I was like, that doesn't sound right that Ewan McGregor is going to be in Ahsoka season 2. But then I was like, okay, it sounds like they're pulling out all the stops. It seems like this is going to be, which it kind of already was in a way, Star Wars' flagship TV show, like continuing franchise on Disney Plus. So I was like, okay, wow, they're really going to go for it. And of course, we have that Filoni movie down the ways, maybe in 2029, where it's going to bring everyone together and hopefully we get the big three back on screen. Um,
Who are the
so
big three?
Han, Luke, and Leia.
They're never going to give it to us. They just torture us. They're going to give
Well,
us Kylo Ren visit Snoke's tomb to talk to him about Jar Jar. That's what they're going to give us.
well, I think we're going to get a young Kylo eventually, which should be pretty cool to see, I think. And you're going to get the older Luke. I'm hoping, trying to start the whole Jedi Academy leading up to the Force Awakens there. Um, but yeah, I think that's on the table, man. It's totally there. They could do it. Um,
They could. They just torment us. They don't want to give us what we're really wanting.
yeah, but I mean, it's there. It's there for the taking. There's still that possibility.
I mean, I've um I've been rewatching Ahsoka season 1 with my daughter. We're on the last episode right now. And it's a decent show, but it's kind of slow. It it's like too slow paced.
I agree. It is a little slower, but it's still solid. As a Star Wars fan, as an Ahsoka fan, as a Rebels fan, if you're tied up into that, it still works. I mean, people kind of had the same kind of critiques for Rogue One when that first aired, and now it seems like Rogue One is like regarded as one of the best movies that has
But there's
ever.
a lot of action in Rogue One, and there's not a lot of action in Ahsoka.
Well, I mean, it's a TV show as well, so I mean, there had to be some type of buildup. But the funny thing about Ahsoka was they were telling us that you didn't need to know anything about Ahsoka or Rebels, but it seems like you kind of did. It seems like you kind of had to know some really like specific information to really enjoy that show and to kind of understand what was going on and the circumstances of like Thrawn and the Night Sisters and the space whales, the Purgle. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, I don't disagree.
yeah, Joseph Floyd on YouTube is asking, will we ever get an Old Republic sequel? Are you talking
Oh,
about the video game? Are you talking about what exactly? Because I want to get live action Old Republic. I mean, they need to start there first. And they did put it on the timeline in London. It was there that they're going to do something. And then you get reports about creators working on that particular piece of Star Wars content. But yeah, we haven't got anything in stone. But of course, there's a lot of projects that are being worked on that we don't know about quite yet. And a lot of the stuff, unfortunately, that does get announced, gets shelved or terminated. So it's a weird thing with Star Wars and Lucasfilm that we just don't know what we're going to get until it's actually in the theater or on Disney Plus. It's a strange thing. So yeah, to sum it up, Ewan McGregor did not confirm he was going to be in Ahsoka season 2. It's going to be Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Hera, which we all knew, and he was like, "Is that supposed to be a secret?" I mean, yes and no, but I mean,
I don't think that's a secret. I mean, come on.
yeah, I mean it's commonsensical,
Filoni said that she's coming back. I mean, she said the Chopper's
right?
coming. He said the Chopper's back. So
Right, and yeah, Filoni did say for some reason you guys want to see more of Chopper, and of course the running joke with Chopper is he's like one of the biggest like mass murderers in Star Wars, and our favorite war criminal basically. So yeah,
my
that's
the thing is like, okay, Thrawn is back. He's gonna try and start an all-out war. How could we not see Han, Luke, and Leia and
yeah, that's what I
Chewie?
was saying earlier. Yeah,
Like,
they're gonna have to give
are
it to
they
us.
going to give it to us? Because if they don't, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. You're gonna have Ahsoka, but you're not gonna have Ahsoka's Padawan son, Luke Skywalker, helping her. Like, that would be crazy if he's not involved.
It would. So
Throwing
they,
my laptop out the window if he's not there. And you know I don't like this laptop anyway, so.
yeah, and Filoni and Favreau included him in Mandalorian season 2, as we all know. So I mean, they're not
And Book of
gun
Boba
shy
Fett.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah, you have to. It's not going to make any sense for Luke not to be there with Ahsoka. It would just would make no sense.
yeah, and Thrawn is an admiral. Thrawn is a formidable foe. So you're going
And
to
yet
need
I
all the
still feel like
firepower available.
I feel like they're not going to do it. I mean, they didn't even put Zeb in season 1.
Well, see, the thing with Zeb is that he costs a lot of money to put on screen because you got to
Doesn't
render
it cost
him, you got
just
to
as much
animate him.
to do Luke?
They did that on the cheap, I think, in season 2 when you saw his face. I mean, it was a little rough. It
That
wasn't
doesn't look.
as
I wish they'd go back and
clean.
fix that.
Yeah, that would kind of speak to the whole like George Lucas going back and fixing his work, even though um, I think we all love the old stuff, and I don't think it really technically need certain retouching because
No, but
there's a
it seems
charm
like
to it.
such an easy fix.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
this is your huge franchise, like Disney. Go in there and do the right thing.
right,
It's like 15 seconds.
right. And speaking of the original films, A New Hope is going to be released for the 50th anniversary, and there are some grumblings that that film is going to be the original theatrical release.
No way. No way.
Okay, Craig, you say no way now, but
I'm
they
saying no
just did
way.
it. They just did it in England.
I know, and everybody complained about how awful it looked.
Okay, so if you take that like original film strip and use an actual old school film projector, there are ways to clean it up and make it better. Maybe not do like the special edition and add scenes and stuff, but to clean up the film. I know there's a lot of techniques to do that.
If they're not going to fix Luke Skywalker for 15 seconds in Mandalorian season 2, which was, in my
Yeah, but
opinion, the
that's a
best
whole
thing
nother
Star Wars
thing though,
has
Craig.
done, why would they go back and fix Star Wars, a whole movie, when they could just re-release it for cheap and make $200 million?
I don't think they make $200 million because I think when they did these special editions, I think the highest grossing special edition was like $35 million.
Yeah, but how many years ago was that?
That was like 97.
Okay, that was 20 something years ago, 28 years ago. When they released Return of the Jedi, how much did it make?
That was 35 million. I think if my memory serves, it was like
No.
35
A few years
million.
ago, they released Return of the Jedi
Yeah,
for
for
the
the
40th. I wonder how
yeah,
much it made
40th.
then.
I'm not sure. Let's actually look that up. How much money
I mean,
did
I think that A New Hope will probably do better than Return of the Jedi.
yeah.
One of our faithful listeners should be helping us.
Okay. So this is going to shock you, Craig. For its 40th anniversary re-release in theaters, Return of the Jedi grossed approximately $4.7 million in its opening weekend.
That's it?
Well, that's opening weekend, and I
Okay.
think it was only one weekend, right?
I don't remember.
The film was re-released in a limited number of theaters, 475 in the U.S. to celebrate the anniversary. Despite the limited release and the fact that it was a re-release of an older film, it still managed to secure the number 5 spot at the U.S. box office. So yeah, these movies don't make as much as you think. They do go to the overall box office for the actual film, which is interesting because Rogue One, when that was re-released in IMAX, that moved it up the IMAX charts all time. But yeah, they don't make as much money as you think. Um, but yeah, like I said, there are grumblings that the original film might actually be released. And we all know famously that George Lucas does not really approve of that. But then
I,
again, George Lucas isn't factored into the conversation here.
I don't think they're releasing it.
Okay.
I don't. And would you really want to see it, David? Like,
Yes. I've never seen that on the big screen. I want to see the original film on the big screen. I've never seen it. I've seen the special edition.
I mean, if the way they showed it got
Mhm.
such a negative response, they would have to like clean up the whole thing.
Well, yeah, do it. I mean, it's
I don't
Star
think they're
Wars, for
doing it.
God's sakes. If
I
any
want them
film in existence, you do it with Star Wars.
to. I don't think it's happening.
It's a possibility. We'll see.
Could it happen? Yeah. Is Disney cheap? Yeah.
But it's the 50th anniversary, man. I'm kind of wondering what other special things are going to take place. We all know that Celebration's going to take place in LA. Just saw George Lucas at San Diego Comic-Con
When does Mandalorian and Grogu come out?
next year, May.
And when is the 50th anniversary?
2027 May.
Oh, 2027. Okay.
Yeah. So you figure they got to do something special. We already know they're re-releasing the film, but the question is what version of the film. Hopefully, yeah, it is the original. And of course, those DVDs exist that they released like in 2006 with the original cuts on them that I was dumb to not buy them then because I remember seeing them at Walmart on my lunch break. I'd go and like they're just there and I'm like, eh. And now like if you go online, they're like $300 for like one of the movies, you know?
Really?
Yes.
Which version is it? I don't even
I mean,
remember.
you cannot buy them from a retailer. You have to buy them off of eBay or something like that.
I don't even remember which version that was. I have so many freaking versions of these movies in my house. I don't even know which one it looked like.
It's the original version, the original theatrical cut.
Hmm.
In 2006, I believe the year was. In chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but you could have bought the DVD, and I think it came with the special edition as well. But yeah, if you go on some of these sites, they're
I'm
asking
gonna
like
look it up.
hundreds of dollars for these discs. But that's the
Is it
only
on
way to
eBay?
watch them. And then again, who has a DVD player these days? You know, it's kind of one of those weird things. But if I was running Lucasfilm, I definitely would try and try and clean up.
Was it
And
these, David?
it just left your phone.
Yeah, that was weird.
But yeah, I think you had them. Yeah,
These?
possibly. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, I believe so.
Looks like they're only $70. Better hurry up. It's in 5 people's carts.
Only $70? Okay. Hmm. I mean, people outside of our like Star Wars bubble might see Star Wars like on the downturn a little bit, and that's why it maybe it's cheaper. I don't know. Joseph Floyd on YouTube says I still have a DVD player. Lots of laughs. I think I
Can't,
do too, but it's just not connected. It's somewhere in my house.
can't
So
PlayStation 5 play DVDs or no?
I have no clue. It might be only go down to Blu-ray.
I don't even know.
Yeah. On the Xbox side of the gaming console conversation here, I don't think they can play DVDs. I think it's just Blu-ray and 4K as far as the new consoles go. But um, the other thing that kind of dropped, which is a little older, but Matt Smith. Matt Smith is reported to star in the new Star Wars Starfighter film alongside Ryan Gosling and Mia Goth. And apparently, the report is that Matt Smith is going to be a villain. And a new update just came out saying that he's going to be some type of military general. So Matt Smith has a very interesting backstory and history with Star Wars. Allegedly, he was brought on to be possibly, which I don't see it because they don't even look alike to me. And it's weird because nobody points that out. But Matt Smith allegedly was going to be young Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
And then there was another report. Somebody thought he was going to play the son from the Mortis arc somehow, some way. He could pass for that, I think, more so than a young Palpatine. Palpatine has a very distinct face and a very distinct profile. And Matt
Yeah.
Smith almost has like the opposite profile. And for years and years on the podcast, we've been saying Tom Hiddleston needs to play young Palpatine, but he's getting older now, and it might not even make sense here pretty soon. Um, so yeah, Matt Smith, he's back in the family, and he's gonna be in Starfighter. I'm a huge House of the Dragon fan, and his acting in that convinced me that yes, he is a big time actor.
Yeah, he's a
And
great actor.
yeah, and I haven't really seen him in much stuff. I mean, he was
Me
in
neither.
Morbius. He was the Doctor, of course, of Doctor Who. Really haven't seen any of that stuff, but House of the Dragon, man, he just killed it. And he plays a psychopath very well, and he has that subtlety, and he's maniacal, and um, he definitely, pardon the pun, but yeah, he is a force. So, what do you
I
think, Craig? What do you think of that casting?
I like Matt Smith. I do think I'd like him in a Star Wars role. Do I think this movie is ever going to happen? I don't know. Honestly. Oh, hello there, Matt. I just have such a hard time believing any of these projects are going to come out. I feel like we have heard so many things are going to happen, and then they don't happen, and then there's rumors, and then they announce it, and then it doesn't happen. I'm just like, what's happening? I don't even know. I know Mandalorian and Grogu's coming out. Other than that, and Ahsoka season 2, I have no idea. None. No.
Well, in Japan, Sean Levy came out, and I think you have the same mentality as a lot of other fans do. It's like, okay, you announce the stuff, and then it gets shelved, or then it just doesn't happen. But Sean Levy said, "We are in production right now. It is happening." So,
I'll believe it when I see a trailer. At this point,
okay.
do I like Matt Smith? Yeah, I like him a lot in House of the Dragon too. I think he'd be great. I think I could totally see him as a villain. Uh, More so than Ryan Gosling, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Um,
And the other rumor for Jedi Star, or not Jedi, geez, I did it again. I keep on saying Jedi Starfighter because I love that game, and that just rolls off my tongue. But Starfighter, Star Wars Starfighter, the movie starring Ryan Gosling, there's a rumor that Ryan Gosling is, of course, the Starfighter, and he's protecting a Jedi. He's like security for the Jedi.
what Jedi?
A
When is he
singular,
supposed? When in the timeline? I don't even know.
So it takes place after the Rise of Skywalker.
It does?
Yes. So is this Rey? Is this somebody totally new?
Please, not Ray.
Man, I love Daisy Ridley, man.
I like her, but I don't want anything to do with the sequel trilogy at all. If it happened, I don't want to know. I don't want the characters. No one. Unless they were the original trilogy, I don't want anybody from the sequels. I don't care about them. I want to forget they ever happened. I'm trying to shift my mindset over to the Mandalorian timeline. It's just so bad. Those sequels were so bad. Do you ever sit down and watch them? My daughter
After
watches
The
Star
Force
Wars with me all
Awakens,
the time. I'm not showing her the sequel trilogy. Okay, I won't do it. We No daughter of mine, no son of mine is going to be watching the sequel trilogy.
I have my former boss at work. He said that about. He still says it about the prequels. He'll only show his kids the original trilogy.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it ended at 6. They failed so miserably, in my humble opinion, that I just can't watch them. Especially with what they did to Luke. That's unforgivable. You know that. You know that for me.
Yeah,
But I'm trying to stay positive. I like Skeleton Crew. I even liked Acolyte, and I like Mandalorian. Though season 3 wasn't very good. All right, so the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, I love them. The third one, I watched every episode once or twice, and now I'm like, nah, just didn't like where the story went.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people do have that sentiment, but there are people that love the sequels too. So I mean, it's
There are
sort of a mixed
people
bag.
that love sniffing paint, David. So you can say that about me.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You can tell that paint sniffer James that I said that.
he's probably watching right now. He's just like shaking his head at work. He's like,
Good.
Greg.
He's free to join. But
Yeah,
I really want them to steer away from the sequel trilogy. I hope they do, because I totally can get into the Mandalorian timeline and what they're doing there, and I think that's gotten a much more positive response.
yeah, and it really feels like Lucasfilm is doing that, just kind of steering slightly, ever so slightly away from the sequels. Because you look at Galaxy's Edge,
I'm glad you
they
brought that up.
they're changing up the characters that appear, and they're going a little less like, let's stick to in-universe stuff for this time period on Batuu. You're getting Fennec Shand, you're getting the Mandalorian,
Great.
you're getting Luke in the black walking around.
Give us R2 walking around with him. And I want to say this from my friend went with me to Hollywood Studios about a month ago, and it was his first time seeing the Star Wars area. He likes Star Wars, he doesn't love Star Wars. But he said this is a complete miss. This area makes I don't recognize anything here. Nothing here feels like Star Wars to me. He goes, and he made a perfect comparison. He goes, we go to Universal, it's a home run. I know all those places. I love those things from the movie. I love it. I come here, this is a complete failure. Nothing makes sense for me. And I think he's absolutely right. You go to Universal, I'm not a Harry Potter fan. I've watched the movies like One Time Meets Are okay. But, you know, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you get to see all those places that you love, you know. But with Star Wars, you're not seeing anything that you love. I mean, you see the Millennium Falcon, but it's not even Han's Millennium Falcon. It's, you know, you hear Chewie, but then you Rise of Resistance. You know, it's a great ride, but the theme of the ride is eh. And then that's it. You see, sequel trilogy Stormtroopers and Kylo Ren. Who wants that?
Yeah, yeah. I totally agree. I took my family a couple of years back to Disney, to Hollywood Studios. We did that for a day. We went to Galaxy's Edge for the day. and I also took them to Universal Studios. And walking into that Harry Potter section, it was like you're in the movies.
Yeah,
I mean, it was pretty wild. It was great to just be there. I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan in the world, but they nailed it.
that's what
They
I'm saying.
truly nailed it. And for those fans, those hardcore fans, everyone was smiling, having fun, the interactivity, and just you were in the movies. I mean, there's no other thing to do in the world other than actually being in the movies is being right there at that moment in time with those rides, those sets, those buildings. It looked identical to what I saw. And
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying. Is like you could have had us see, you know, the actual cantina. It didn't have to be Oga's. It could have been not that Oga's is fine, but wouldn't you rather be in the actual cantina? I would.
I
Or
would too.
or Jabba's palace, or something else like the carbonite chamber, or there's so much more they could have done.
Yeah.
It feels cheap, to be honest with you. Like, what about that area feels like, oh, this is awesome? It feels cheap. There's there's no droids, there's hardly any characters,
Yeah.
there's
Star
hardly
Tours
any
holds up.
rides. Huh?
I said Star Tours holds up.
I love Star Tours. In fact, I like Star Tours better than the two new rides. My kids want to go on Star Tours over and over and over again. They'll go on it 5 times in a row if the line's not long.
Yeah.
We have annual passes. We live in Orlando, so they'll literally like, let's go on Star Tours again. Let's go on Star Tours again. Let's go on Star Tours again.
Yeah.
More than any other ride in the park, they want to go on Star Tours, and it's not even my pushing them in any way. They did that on their own. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they love it so much they will ask for it. So
Yeah. Yeah. It
it's
is a
just,
great ride. When we were there together, we did that. We went on like 5 or 6 times in a row because
we
there's no
did.
line.
In
Yeah.
fact, I have the video of us.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And I mean there's like variety, there's I mean it's a great ride, man. It's like it's one of the most perfect attractions I think in any theme park that's ever been created.
I love Star Tours. In fact, I go in there every once in a while to the guest services just to let them know that we love the Star Tours ride, so they don't get any bad ideas and think they're going to get rid of it.
That's
It's a great
awesome.
ride still. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they've added Cassian in there. They've added Ahsoka. I have you done the Star Tours with Ahsoka with the space whales and all that?
Yes, many
Okay.
times.
Oh
Probably at least
man.
20 times.
I've seen like on YouTube where people will like illegally camera it and it's like all in 3D, so you really can't see it that well.
Yeah,
But
it's blurry.
gosh, I definitely do. And I actually have a ticket that I haven't used because I didn't go to MegaCon this year. I was going to, but I was a little sick, a little too sick, and I didn't go. So I actually have a ticket that I can use sometime this year. So at some point, I might end up over there. We were thinking about actually doing my family. They want to go back to Universal because they enjoy that more and do like Halloween horror nights or whatever they do over there. And I might sneak away for like a day and like do
Are you
that.
thinking about coming for Horror Nights? Because
Yeah,
I love Horror Nights. It's great.
yeah, yeah. I definitely want to do that too. But I do have that ticket that's already paid for. And yeah, maybe we can meet up or something. Um, Joseph Floyd on YouTube says, yeah, what happened to Rogue Squadron? So Rogue Squadron got shelved, so it's still a possibility.
Was that the Gina Carano one?
No, no, no. That is the Patty Jenkins movie where remember when they did the whole announcement? She was wearing the rollerblades and she was on tarmac, and like a CGI X-wing landed on the tarmac.
For
Yeah,
some
it's that
reason, I
one.
thought that it was supposed to be a TV show with Gina Carano. No?
You're thinking about Rangers of the New Republic.
Yeah. And we wanted to talk about Gina Carano today.
Yes, which is the next thing we're going to talk about. So, in wild, out of left field news, looks like Gina Carano and Disney have settled um, out of court, and it looks like she now has the option to reappear in Star Wars. So it's interesting that this has transpired the way it has. And I was talking to someone at Rebel ScumCon about this, and right when the news broke. And I didn't even think about this. So shout out to Ken. Maybe Ken is listening or watching. He lives in actually your state, Craig. Um, he was telling me, he was like, hey, well, um, this would be perfect if Cara Dune is in Mando and Grogu, and it's like a surprise. They could insert her in now, get her in there. She's the Marshal of Navarro. I
Yep.
mean, it would work almost seamlessly, because there's been so much time in between seasons and this film. Um, it would almost be like she never left in a way. So that is now a possibility. Um, as far as the reasonings why she was removed, I mean, it was just for posting a picture. Um, and yeah, it's we want to be like delicate when we talk about that, but
Listen,
I mean,
some people are offended by her. Some people love her.
yeah,
Take that out of it. Her character was okay.
yeah,
I not particularly amazing, but I enjoyed her character.
right, yeah. So
I liked her character in the story. You have to have characters that connect with what's going on. And I thought she was fine. So if they bring her back, I'm fine with it. I mean,
yeah, I actually would be fine with it too. I mean, um, she is. I mean, I she added to I think the kind of tapestry of characters that Star Wars has.
yeah,
She doesn't look like anyone else we've ever seen. She was a shock trooper. She was from Alderaan. Um, it was just we had never seen anyone like that before. She's a female. She's strong. She's like the muscle,
yeah.
um, so to speak. And she could go toe to toe with Mando, so we know she's formidable. So, and of course, she was like a rogue, but then she kind of came into the fold as more of like on the good side, which she was already a part of the Rebel Alliance as a shock trooper, and then of course via Mando and her meeting Grogu and kind of falling in love with him like the rest of the country did. She became a Marshal of Navarro. So um, it's very easy to interweave her back into the storyline, which is very interesting. And Gina Carano did make a post talking about how this whole situation's been really rough on her, um, mentally, physically, um, and she talked about how her close friends and people would say, "Oh, I'm not as into Star Wars anymore," but she made a post saying, "Hey, it's okay to be into Star Wars and to wear the shirts and the hats around me, and it's okay to bring the stuff back out and celebrate Star Wars," which I thought was a great post by her. Um, which kind of feels like she might actually be back, And
I I think she's going to come back. And you're right. I do think now that you say it, they probably will incorporate her in Mando and Grogu somehow. So maybe
right,
even if it's an after credit scene.
wow,
And we lost oh my gosh, I can't think of his name. Uh Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers, yeah,
We lost Carl. And so that makes a big difference because he was such an anchor in that story. So you lose Carl and you lose Gina Carano's character. It's like, who does that really leave you with? Like all these characters that we slowly got to know. Then it's really just like Bo Katan and some of the Mandalorians and I guess the Marshal and Boba Fett. But
mhm,
they what they still are not doing any. Boba Fett is not going to be in this movie. I mean, Tamura came out and said recently they have not done anything with Boba Fett. That just is so annoying to me because clearly he is not the issue. We love the character.
Mhm.
He was incredible in Mandalorian, right? I loved him. And just what they did with him in Book of Boba Fett didn't make any sense. Make it make sense and bring him back.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's almost like they still have time to make it make sense because that Book of Boba Fett show was just kind of off character, and it wasn't what we saw at the end of Mando season two, which was great. That was exactly what we thought we were going to get, and they gave it to us, and that's what built up all the hype for that Book of Boba Fett TV show. But it was just like off note for that character, and hopefully they figure that out and they see that and they listen to the fans, they listen to the podcast, and like, yeah, you're gonna have to go a whole lot more gritty and violent and be the bounty hunter from The Empire Strikes Back. Um, but I don't know. We'll see. There's possible um, changes happening at Lucasfilm. So, and the Cara Dune Gina Carano thing is an interesting development, and that's a big change. Them saying that she can come back and be reinserted back into Star Wars, that's very shocking. I didn't expect to hear that news, but it is what it is now. It's all settled, and I wish her nothing but the best. Um, I don't think it's the best thing, and we've seen this in the past, to fire people over Twitter posts or social media posts necessarily. Um,
Yeah, it's a slippery slope.
it is very slippery. I'm glad you said that. Um, you might not agree with people's politics, um, but as I found out, I don't agree with all of my friends' politics, and we're still friends. I mean, everyone's grown up different. Everyone's grown up in different places.
Hell,
I
we
mean,
don't
I'm
even agree with Colin's love for Max Rebo, but we still him on the show.
right, right, and I'm in Texas, so if you know anything about politics, you know exactly where I live and where I'm in the heart of. So, um, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that you kind of have to go on the person, and I think Gina's like a really nice person. There
I,
are
I met
there
her at MegaCon, and she was very
right,
sweet and very
right,
friendly in that brief interaction.
and of course she's an ex MMA fighter. Um, very interesting backstory for her. Okay, um, if you didn't know this, her father was a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, and now her family is very, very wealthy because they own a lot of stuff. I'm not quite sure, but they own like
I
casinos in
I
Vegas.
heard they were very wealthy. Um,
Yes. So she doesn't even have to do any of this. She doesn't have to act. She doesn't have to fight, but she's doing it out of like her own passion. And it's that question of like if you have like she doesn't have unlimited money, but I mean if you're well off, didn't have to do certain things. I mean, she wants to be an actress and she was passionate about this. And she was very, very fulfilled being Cara Dune.
you know what's crazy to me? Her family has all this money. She obviously has done well for herself. Yet Elon Musk flipped the bill for her lawyers against Disney.
Right, right. Because yeah, he felt like it was just um like more of like an agenda type thing. And employers can have the right, and they've done it in the past, that if they don't like something you do, they can just fire you. I mean,
Yep.
it's pretty simple. But of course, in America, the country we live in, we're a very litigious society. So you can always come back and sue them, countersue.
Yep.
Um, so a lot of stuff happens in the courts, and the court deemed that Gina Carano was wrongfully terminated. And well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. Disney decided to settle out of court, so they said that she could come back. That's the way I understand the story. Um, it never really went to court. Um,
I think she's coming back, and I think I'm going to say this now. My prediction is we see her in some capacity in Mandalorian and Grogu, even if it's just an after credit scene. For some reason, they go that route with Star Wars. They've never done that before, right? Well, I guess
yeah,
they did with Book of Boba Fett. Uh, we saw the after credits with Book of Boba Fett at the end of Mando. Um, but yeah, I think they're bringing her back for that movie somewhere.
yeah, yeah.
I
So
don't
there's
think
an
Favreau
article.
and Filoni were upset with her.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, it's just one of those situations where like social media came into play. But I want to read this article to clear it up a little bit better than what I said. Um, so this is an article on StarWarsNewsNet.com. Disney and Gina Carano settle wrongful termination lawsuits. So there was a lawsuit in place. The long gestating legal battle between the Mandalorian actress Gina Carano and the Walt Disney Company came to an end on Thursday after the parties announced an out of court agreement, which I corrected myself there, had been reached. The case was to go to trial next month. A judge will now have to ratify the settlement. So there will be a judge involved. Carano filed her lawsuit in 2024 against Disney, Lucasfilm, over wrongful termination. The actress was dismissed from The Mandalorian in between seasons 2 and 3 back in early 2021. That's a long time ago now. After the companies repeatedly warned her to monitor her social media posts. After publishing a comparison between being a Republican voter in 2021 and a Jew during the Holocaust, Disney Lucasfilm terminated their plans together, which included Carano leading a spin off series from The Mandalorian, which was Rangers of the New Republic. Though Disney tried to get the case dismissed, a judge allowed it to move to a trial and set a September 2025 date for it. Carano's legal defense was funded by Elon Musk, who followed up on his promise to finance, sparing no expenses, any wrongful termination suit against corporations of those who had been fired for expressing their views on social media. The lawsuit demanded that Disney and Lucasfilm reinstate her to her prior position with a no loss of pay or benefits, as well as compensa- uh, com- compensatory damages of at least $75,000. You can see more details on the lawsuit at this link. And there's a lot of legalese here. Pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 41A1A2, plaintiff Gina Carano on the one hand, and defendants the Walt Disney Company, Lucasfilm Limited, LLC, and Huckleberry Industries, U.S. Incorporated, on the other, by and through their understand their counsel hereby stipulate that this action, all claims, including all defense asserted therein, be dismissed with prejudice. The Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm are pleased to announce that we have reached an agreement with Gina Carano to resolve the issue in her pending lawsuit against the companies. Ms. Carano was always well respected by her directors, which we mentioned, co stars, and staff, and she worked hard to perfect the craft while treating her colleagues with kindness and respect. With the lawsuit concluded, we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Ms. Carano in the near future. So there you have it. She could very well be back and might not even miss a step. So,
Well, let's see what happens. I've heard from people that know her and around the community that she's a very nice person,
she is. She is.
and she was very nice and friendly and kind when I got to meet her. Um,
Huge fan base.
Unfortunately, society is becoming a little bit too much crazy with the cancel culture.
Hmm.
That people are getting canceled over small things, minor things, and I think enough people have just had enough of that, and they're fed up, and they're tired of people getting canceled so easily. You know,
Yeah. Oh, James agrees with you, Craig. James Herrera on YouTube says, I agree with Craig. They won't re release the despecialized edition.
it'd be cool if they did. I don't see it happening. Unfortunately, Disney doesn't really tend to make us surprised with these kind of things. Like they just keep they stick to something rather than correct course. You know, like it's been taking them a long time to make some changes to Galaxy's Edge. You know, and sometimes they have to be more aware of what the real fans want.
Mhm.
Even the casuals don't know what the heck is going on at Galaxy's Edge. How would they know if the real fans are like, "Where am I?"
Mm,
Why you have Poe Dameron's X-wing? How about Luke Skywalker's X-wing?
mhm.
Put R2D2 in the top of that, right?
Yeah, I would really love to see a Star Wars land with the stuff from the original trilogy. You have, I
They get
mean, you have
anything right.
Yavin, you have the base. You could walk through the base. They teach you, they recruit you into the Rebel Alliance, and then you end up on Admiral Akbar's Mon ship that's like super cold inside.
Have a
Um,
flight simulator ride where you have to learn how to train to be in the rebellion,
yeah,
and there's so much more they could do there.
it would be a big hit because I mean, if you have like a Hoth section and it's really cold inside, that'd be a big hit. You get out of the heat, you get a little cool, you get a Wampa chasing you or a Wampa arm coming through doors. I mean, kind of writes itself in a way. But
There's a lot they could do there, but
yeah,
they better really take a look at what Universal is doing
yeah,
because the Harry Potter fans are thrilled, right?
yeah,
They seem really happy with what they're doing over there. The Star Wars fans are kind of like, it's cool, but what do I have? I don't have a connection to this place, but two.
right, right.
And I would be okay with like creating your own world, but at least give us, I don't know. You're on Batu because you're recruiting to be with the rebellion, and that's where their
Mhm.
hidden rebel base is. I don't know. I'm just tossing stuff out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that is the news for this podcast. Join us tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to go completely over the weekend's events at Rebel Scum Con. We're going to be joined by some special guests, and it should be great. So join us for that. And that's pretty much it. If any other big news drops, we will definitely uh, hit you guys up and do another emergency podcast. But yeah, we really wanted to get this out before we do the big review for Rebel Scum Con, which was great. Spoiler alert
Yeah, it
there.
sounds like Rebel Scum Con was really good despite Colin being there.
Colin got like 20 interviews, man.
I saw the pictures. That's awesome. Good for him, man.
Yeah, he was hustling everywhere, and it was a fantastic job.
That could go one way or the other. Well, let's see. Let's see what the response is.
Yeah. All right. So for Craig 5, my name's David, and may the force be with you.
Always.
Pew.